After losing her husband, 35-year-old Emily thought loneliness would be her only companion. But one evening she walked past her stepson's door, and what she saw changed everything. A hidden desire, a forbidden closeness, and a journey of rediscovering love where she least expected it. This is a story of grief, passion, and second chances. If you like this story, then please like and subscribe for more interesting. I never thought I would be telling this story. I'm 35 years old, recently widowed, and I was just starting to understand the silence that follows a funeral, the kind of quiet that sinks into the walls of your house and into your bones. My husband, Daniel, had passed away 3 weeks ago after a long, cruel illness. I still felt like he was just in the other room, maybe reading a book or fixing something in the garage. But he wasn't. That day, I was sitting alone in the living room, staring at nothing, thinking about everything. The house still smelled like the lilies from his funeral. They made the air thick, and my memories even heavier. It was strange how even sadness can feel routine after a while, until something snapped me out of it. It was a soft creak, barely audible. The hallway. My stepson, Noah, had come to stay with me temporarily, helping me sort out legal documents and things Daniel left behind. He was 22, grown, mature beyond his years. He'd always been quiet, kind, and respectful. But that day something changed. I was walking toward the kitchen when I passed Noah's room. His door was slightly open. Maybe I should have turned away. Maybe I should have coughed or called out. But I didn't. What I saw through that slim gap in the door made my heart stop. He was lying on his bed, shirtless, his jeans pushed down just enough, eyes closed, breath uneven. I stood frozen. My immediate reaction was to step back, to shut the door, to pretend I hadn't seen anything. But I didn't move. I watched for a moment too long. Maybe it was grief. Maybe it was loneliness. Or maybe it was something in me I hadn't known was still alive. I quietly stepped back, heart pounding, and went to the kitchen. My fingers trembled as I poured myself a glass of water. I was ashamed, confused, and strangely stirred. Was it wrong to feel something again? Especially like this? That night I barely slept. The next morning, Noah acted as if nothing had happened. He brought me coffee just the way I liked it, with almond milk and a hint of cinnamon. We talked about insurance paperwork, the lawyer's next visit, and what I wanted to do with Daniel's old records. But there was a tension in the air, thick and humming. When our hands brushed reaching for the same file, I felt it like an electric shock. He looked at me, eyes deeper than I'd ever noticed before. They weren't just kind anymore. They were curious, searching. Days passed, and the air between us kept heating. It was in the way he stood a little closer, in how his hand would linger when he passed me something. One evening after dinner, I found him in the garage sorting through Daniel's tools. He looked so grown, so strong, a man now, not the teenage boy I had once cooked dinner for. I leaned against the doorframe and watched him. He glanced back and smiled. "Need help with anything?" he asked. "No," I said softly. "Just needed air." He set the wrench down and walked toward me. "You okay?" He nodded. "I think I forgot what being okay feels like." His eyes searched mine for a moment before he reached out and gently touched my shoulder. "You don't have to go through this alone." His words felt like an invitation I wasn't sure I was allowed to accept. But I didn't move away. That night something shifted again. I was in my bedroom reading, trying to ignore the soft ache that had taken residence in me, when there was a knock at my door. "Come in," I said. Noah entered, holding a photo album. "Found this while cleaning. Thought you might want it." He sat beside me on the bed. We flipped through the pages. Pictures of birthdays, holidays, Daniel's smile frozen in time. I didn't realize tears were falling until Noah wiped one from my cheek. I looked at him, really looked at him. And he didn't look away. "I miss him," I whispered. I know, he said. Me too. His hand stayed on my cheek, warm and steady. Then he leaned in, slowly, giving me time to pull away. But I didn't. His lips brushed mine, soft and questioning. The kiss was brief, tentative. When he pulled back, guilt flared in his eyes. I shouldn't have. I placed my hand over his. It's okay. He stood abruptly. I just wanted to bring the album. After he left, I lay there in the dark, my heart racing. I didn't know what I was feeling. It wasn't just attraction. It was deeper, more complicated. He had been my stepson, yes. But he wasn't a child anymore. And I wasn't the same woman I'd been either. The following days were a dance of stolen glances and unspoken words. One afternoon, I was in the garden trimming the roses when I felt him behind me. Without a word, he took the shears from my hands and began helping. His presence was comforting. You're really good at this, I said. He chuckled. You always said I had a green thumb. I laughed and it felt good. He smiled. It's nice to hear that again. We stood in silence for a while, our hands brushing as we worked. Then, without thinking, I turned and hugged him. He held me tight, strong arms wrapping around my waist. My head rested on his chest, and for the first time in weeks, I felt safe. That night he knocked again. I opened the door and he was just standing there, unsure. I can't stop thinking about you, he admitted. I stepped aside and let him in. We sat on the bed, saying nothing at first. Then I touched his hand. I don't know what this is, or if it's even right, but I feel it too. His mouth found mine, hungrier this time, but still careful. Our kisses deepened, breaths quickened, and the room seemed to close in around us. We didn't cross every line that night, but we explored the space between longing and restraint. His lips tracing the curve of my neck, my fingers threading through his hair, our hearts thudding in sync. What surprised me most was the emotion. Raw, real, healing. He didn't try to fill Daniel's place. He just saw me, a woman who was lonely, grieving, and rediscovering desire. The days that followed were filled with quiet intimacy. Cooking breakfast together, his hands on my waist, whispering my name like it meant something again. We took walks at dusk, sharing stories about Daniel, laughing about old memories, finding a strange peace in each other's company. I didn't know where this road would lead us. I didn't know how others would see it. But I knew what I felt. I was 35, and I thought my life had ended with Daniel's. But Noah made me feel alive again. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. He didn't try to fix me. He simply stayed, patient, tender, and attentive. One night, as we sat on the porch watching the stars, he took my hand. Whatever this becomes, he said, I just want you to know, I'll never hurt you. I turned to him and smiled. I believe you. It wasn't just about the heat between us anymore, though that was there, smoldering beneath every touch, every glance. It was about rediscovery. About realizing that even in grief, love can find you again, in the most unexpected ways. And maybe, just maybe, that's what Daniel would have wanted for me. Not to be alone, but to be loved, truly, honestly, and deeply. I still visit Daniel's grave. I still talk to him. But I no longer cry when I do, because I carry his memory with me. And now I walk with someone who honors that memory by loving me just as I am. Unexpected, unplanned, but maybe exactly what I needed. Please press the bell icon for more interesting